Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa if you are new here, and today I'm finally doing the story time video of how me and my husband met, how we fell in love, and now we're married. We have 2 children together. One's 3, one is 1.5, and we have another baby on the way. I have a son from a previous relationship, and then he also has a daughter from a previous marriage. But together, we're about to have 3 kids, and we met 3 years ago. So, this is probably going to get long, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to, not take 10 years. But it's a long story, you guys, and it's crazy. So, give this video a thumbs up if you like videos like this. I thought I'd take a little break from the drama, like I like to do, every few videos. Let me know if you guys want more creep show art videos or if you're over it, because I know some more stuff is coming out every day. So yeah, let me know. Let's just get right into it because my husband's downstairs watching the kids for me. He's on a break from work and I want to get this filmed in actual quiet for once. You know what I mean? Okay, so in order to know how I met my husband, we need to go back in time to Marissa of 3 years ago. And that Marissa was pretty crazy. So, I've been on the internet for a few years now. And the first community that I was ever a part of was the vegan community. And it was pretty much like the vegan community and then the vegan drama. And I used to go on this platform called YouNow. And, I started talking to people. People would live stream. There was this live streamer named Vegan Cheetah who was really popular on there. And then he kind of transitioned to YouTube. He would do all these crazy videos about Freely the Banana Girl and all kinds of stuff. So I made a bunch of friends in this community, and me and my friends would go live. I have this really good friend, Olga. I'm still friends with her. She's really cool. We would go live together, and we would get thousands of views on YouNow. I don't know if you guys know what YouNow is, but it's kind of that was the place to be a few years ago. That is where everybody went to go hang out, was YouNow. That was the live streaming place. That was where everybody went. So we would go live and hang out, and there would be drama, of course, because the guy, Vegan Cheetah, used to do commentary, except he would do it on the vegan community. And it was so crazy because there was so much drama, you guys, in this community. People were getting into relationships, they were leaking nudes, they were exposing each other, they were doing some, it was crazy. So we would all be there, up in the drama. I didn't really make videos at this time. I was kind of just doing live streaming, and I would hang out in the chats and stuff like that. So then all of a sudden, people were getting seriously trolled. There was this channel called That Vegan Couple. Vegan Cheetah was getting trolled, and there was these whispers of this trolling group named Order 66, and everybody's what the heck is that? What is Order 66? There's so much details I can go into, so I'm gonna have to try to keep it yeah. So anyways, and then there was this troll group, okay, and they were going around, and there was a guy named Blue Wren who was part of the vegan community, and he was a total douche. He would be sending dick pics to the girls, harassing them, bullying the women online. So he started getting trolled by Order 66. Then there was this guy named Vegan Traveler, and he was doing some crazy stuff. He started getting trolled by Order 66, and they would just bomb your comments with crazy stuff, saying crazy things, and you would get some people who got doxxed, and some people were just getting harassed, and it was insane. So in the midst of that, there were these whispers around the community, in live chats or live, people were talking about this guy named Wheezy. And it was so crazy because normal people, when they hear stay away from this guy Wheezy, he's a psychopath, they would run. But me, I'm like, ooh, really? What kind of psychopath? Who is this guy? Like, what is he doing? Like, ooh, my crazy ass. So I'm like so curious of who this Order 66 is, who this guy is, and why are they like harassing this community that I'm a part of. And at this time, I had just, I was recovering from some of my own situations. I had decided to go vegan, like, completely. I was, like, believe it or not, I was, like, all about the animals, and I was, like, an animal activist. So, my friends, like, some of my friends started getting trolled really bad by this Order 66. And I was like, you know, at this time, like, you guys know how outspoken I am. I always like to stick up for people, and I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. This guy and his freaking troll gang is not going to troll my friends, okay? Like, I was bad. You guys think I'm sassy now. When I was back then, I was, like, getting online, calling people cunts, telling them to shove dildos up their ass. Like, I was just full force. And it was usually sticking up for, like, someone being bullied. I always, like, went for people that everybody was against. You know what I mean? Like, my friend Olga, everybody was against her. And, like, she was getting harassed by Freely and Durian Rider, these crazy vegan people. And, like, me and her became friends. And it was crazy. I can do more stories if you guys want. Like, aside from just, like, the story of me and my husband, I could do more vegan drama stories if you really want to know. So, we ended up being friends. I'm always drawn to the people that everyone's against, because I always feel like maybe they're misunderstood in some way. You know what I mean? So when people are going around saying that, you know, this guy named Wheezy is like this complete psychopath, I'm like, really? Like, a psychopath? Come on now. So I was really curious. But once he started trolling my friends, okay, once he started trolling my friends and posting pictures of them, and this troll group was doing all this crazy stuff, doxing, going on their Facebook, I was like, okay, hold up. Who is this guy again? So I found him on Twitter, and I decided to message him, okay? Everybody was scared of him at this point and said he was a psychopath. Don't mess with him because you will get doxed and you will lose your job and you will get, like, all this crazy bad stuff happen to you. So I'm like, okay, no, this is not happening to my friends. I went into his DMs, like, I guess you guys slid in his DMs, but he said I came, like, crashing through his DMs, and I was like, who do you think you are? I'm not scared of you. Like, I know what your little operation is doing. You don't scare me. F off. You're a piece of crap. Leave my friends alone. And I'm just, like, going off on him. And he was like, he told me that he, like, went and looked at my picture, and he was like, who is this girl? He was just, like, coming in my DMs and going off on me. And he told me he would, like, look at my picture, and he said that, he told me, like, oh, she's too pretty to be, like, attacking like this and going so nuts. But then he got aggravated because once I get going, I'm like, boom, 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 boom. I was, like, fighting with him. I was like, no, you're a piece of crap. Fix it now. Get this stuff down. Take my friend's docs down. Like, I was not stopping. And we started going back and forth, and we started fighting. And he, like, told me to shut my cocksucker. And I was calling him a piece of shit, like, criminal loser. And we were, like, beefing hardcore. And, but then all of a sudden, okay, so I'm pretty sure I convinced him to take whatever it is he posted of my friends. I think he posted one of my friends' family's photos from Facebook online, and they were, like, really upset about it. There was just so much drama going on. And then he took it down, and somehow we ended up in this, like, Twitter group chat, and it was, like, me and Olga and, like, a few other people, and everybody would just chat in this, like, Twitter DM chat. And I would just kind of look and see. I didn't really talk in there. I was just kind of, like, observing what was going on. And then I saw him in there, and then it was crazy because somehow we ended up talking to each other, and like we kind of became friendly, and we were like in each other's DMs, and then I was like, oh well, I kind of like this guy, like, okay, he's kind of interesting, you know, like I started kind of getting a crush on him, and we started talking back and forth, and then we had like this total like Twitter moment, you know, and after that we were like talking every day on Twitter, like messaging each other, and like we were getting really into talking. And then, okay, the people so this guy, if I forgot to tell you, Wheezy was his name he went by, was the leader of this troll group, Order 66. And they would go after people. The reason why it started was because he was on the internet and in a different community called the YTDC. It was like a beer drinking community. There were some people he was having problems with there. And this guy, Ted Barris, literally made social medias of his teenage daughter and was like talking about her sexually and like saying all this gross stuff, and people were trying to come after him by like going after his daughter, and it was so weird. Like, they're weirdos. And he was like, okay, you know what, you guys think that you can do whatever you want online, like I'm going to show you that that's not true. So he started this group with his friend named Ghostface, and they started going after this thing, and it started like where they were going after predators and pedophiles and like nasty people online, and they would, you know, dox you, call your job, get you fired, do this and that. If you were online bullying somebody or doing something to kids or doing anything bad like that, they were coming for you. So they ended up in the vegan community going after people, and then so he's the leader of this scary troll group that everybody's petrified of in the vegan community. Now I'm over here like, oh yeah, I like him. I think he's cool now. Like, because after we got into our fight, he took the stuff down about my friends, and like I said, we were talking all the time, and I was just like total crush on him at this point. So then people started finding out that we were talking, and oh man, did shit blow up. People were not happy because I was very well known in this community of vegans, and like I had a lot of friends, and I also had a lot of people who didn't like me. You know, the people that were getting trolled were content creators. There was Vegan Traveler, Vegan Cheetah, Blue Wren, and they hated Order 66, and they hated Wheezy and Ghostface and all these people who were, you know, involved in it. And we started openly, you know, I would go into his live streams and he would talk to me in chats, and we were like openly talking to each other in public. And some people did not like that. Like, they had a huge problem with it. So then my husband now would like get on and be screaming at people telling them to leave us alone, like we're gonna be together, and it was crazy, and people were so mad. And I would get on, I'd be like, I don't give a shit what any of you guys say. He's not a bad guy, he's not a psychopath, I like him, and we're gonna talk. And like, we had decided at that point, like, we're gonna be together. We were like already falling in love at this point, and we didn't care what any of these crazy people online said. I didn't believe what anybody said. Everybody was trashing him, saying he was like the worst piece of scum on the internet, which is funny because you know how I always talk about you never really know who's good and who's bad. Well, before I met him, I dated one other person in the vegan community, and his name was McGee, and everybody thought he was like, you know, the white knight of the vegan community, and he was like this great animal activist and so nice, and you know, people liked him a lot and thought he was such a great guy. Well, guess what? I started dating him. He didn't turn out to be such a nice guy, okay? He had weird fetishes, first of all, like weird ones, okay? Weird ones. He wanted to do weird things, and I was like, get away from me. I would tell my friend Olga the stuff that he was saying, and she would like run for the hills So me and him ended up breaking up, but the point is everybody thought he was so great and nice because he was fighting for the animals and fighting to be vegan, and everybody thought he was so nice, and everybody thought my husband was this trash, like, piece of shit psycho sociopath. Like, seriously, when I tell you, like, this guy Vegan Traveler and Blue Wren, like, they thought my husband was a straight psychopath, like a psycho. Like, I can't even express enough, like, what people thought, that he was this crazy, okay? And my husband is like he's the best guy I've ever known in my life, like, better than my own dad, better than any guy I've ever dated. He is the most wonderful man I have ever known in my entire life. So much for him being a piece of trash psycho. Like, people think that sometimes because he's very outspoken, he likes to joke, he's, he's one of those people who thinks people take things online way too seriously. Like, you can say anything to him and it's like, whatever. He thinks people are too sensitive. He will say things, he's like, people used to call him like an edgelord because he would just say this crazy outlandish stuff. You know what I mean? He was a troll. He liked to piss people off. He would fight with people online, and it was just, that's how he was. But that doesn't make him a bad guy, you know what I mean? To me, anyway. I saw past that crap. So, people were pissed. There was this guy named Vegan Traveler, like I said. He would go on and start ranting and screaming at me, okay? No, he would scream at me for hours, and wheezy, and like, he would be like, how could you date him? Like, he's a psycho, you're brainwashed. He said I was brainwashed, I was being held hostage by Wheezy the psychopath. Like, everybody was all up in arms because I said I was gonna date this guy. Like, nobody could believe it that I wanted to go anywhere near him or date him or whatever. So, we started talking every day. We didn't listen to anybody. He was still trolling people and stuff, like, and we would fight with this person and that person, and it was like just constantly some kind of crazy drama. And at the time, he lived in Colorado and I lived in Rhode Island, and we're like, okay, we have to figure out a way to be together. Like, we're gonna be together no matter what. Like, do I have to move there? Are you gonna move here? So I ended up going to visit him in Colorado for like a few days, and we like hung out, and the first time we met, we were like, realized, okay, we're gonna be together. Like, we had a great time. It was crazy. I'm not gonna get into the details, but it was a crazy time, and it was a fun time, and it was like, we were wild. So after that, I came back to Rhode Island, and we still were talking, and he picked up everything and moved to Rhode Island. Okay, now we had been talking for like a month maybe, but we were on the phone every single day. We were talking for hours and hours and hours. Like, we would literally fall asleep on the phone talking to each other. Like, it was constant. I was never not talking to him. And we talked about everything. Like, we got to know each other. He would tell me things about him. I would tell him things about me and our families, and I just realized what a good guy he actually was. Like, he was nothing like the person he was on the internet. You know what I mean? He wasn't anything like that. And I just completely fell in love with him. Like, he said, I love you. Like, well, before we even met in person, and, yeah, we just, like, completely fell in love with each other. So he moved to Rhode Island. He moved to Rhode Island and moved in with me. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but he just picked up, moved from Colorado, and moved in with me, and I had a 12-year-old, well, he wasn't 12, actually, sorry, he was, like, 8 at the time. And literally within a month, I got pregnant with my 3-year-old, DJ. Yeah. So that was crazy. And when he so I had a very, very bad history with guys. You know what I mean? Like, I always go for, like, the guys who are rough around the edges. Some of them are assholes. That's just always been, like, my type, okay, like the bad boy type, I guess you could say. So when he got here to Rhode Island, my mom is like more sassy than me. She's like hardcore, like New England attitude, okay? And when he got here, she realized he wasn't going anywhere. She thought maybe he was visiting, maybe I was just like having this quick little fling. And I'm like, no, Mom, he's moving in and we're in love and we're gonna be together. And she was like, what? She comes running up my stairs the first day he's here. It's like a Sunday afternoon. We're hanging out, like he was drinking a beer. My mom comes running up the stairs, bursts into the house and tells into my house, okay? Now, at the time, I was a single mom. I was on food stamps. I couldn't, like, work very much, so she helped me a lot with, like, bills and stuff. Like, I'm so thankful for the help that she gave me in that time because I was having a really rough time. And so she bursts in the house and she's like, get the F out of my house. You're not going to be with my daughter. You're a piece of crap. And she starts, like, swinging at him. I was like, Mom. So we get into a fight. I'm like, get out, Mom. Like, you can't do this. This is my house, not yours. Get out of my house. He's staying whether you like it or not. So she was pissed. Okay. They got into this fight. They're screaming at each other. She's trying to hit him. It was nuts. Even though things started out that way, they have a great relationship now. I just wanted to put that in there, and yeah, but I just thought that was funny, like how things started, but everything's fine now because she realized that he actually is a very good man, and she loves him to death. Because, which I don't blame her, because every other guy that I dated before him was a complete douchebag, asshole, bum. Some of them didn't work. Some of them didn't, you know what I mean? It was, I don't blame her for thinking like he was this crap person because that's always what I brought around. You know what I mean? But he ended up not being a crap person and we're still together now. So we ended up having my son DJ. Then we got married, I think like a year and a half later. So wait, this might have been 4 years ago, and then we got, like, married. We were together for about a year and a half, I think, and we already had my son DJ, who's 3 now. So then we pick up and we just move from Rhode Island out of nowhere. We decide he wants to take this job. We're out. We go to Charlotte. And we get married at a courthouse. We're like, you know what, we need to get married right now. We're just like... My husband is like one of those people who's just like, okay, let's do it now. No planning. He's like, you know, this fly by the seat of his pants kind of guy. So we just moved. No, we moved to Anderson, South Carolina first. And then we decided we didn't like it there. So we picked up and moved to Charlotte. So, yeah. Then we're like, okay, we need to get married. Like, we're Christian. We believe in God. And, like, we believe in marriage and stuff like that. And we weren't married. We had a kid together, so we're like, okay, we gotta get married. So we literally got married in like a day or two, got all the stuff done, ran to the courthouse, got married, and then I got pregnant again with Juliana. We had her, she's about a year old, and yeah, so I think this all happened in like a span of 4 years. I'm so bad at math, you guys. I really am. But it's crazy, like, and now I'm pregnant again, okay? I'm pregnant again, so we have the 3-year-old, the 1.5-year-old, and now we have our 3rd baby on the way, all from meeting on Twitter, okay? So I literally fell in love with an online troll who was the leader of a troll gang on Twitter and YouTube, and we fell in love, got married, we have kids, we have, like, this beautiful life. He's the best guy I've ever known. Nothing like what people said he was. And that just goes to show you can't always listen to what people say about somebody. Now, do sometimes people warn you and they end up being right? Yes. But you never know. And also, you know, you can't listen. The person who seems like they're good could be horrible, just like the guy dated McGee. And the person who seems like they're bad and a piece of shit trash could actually be the love of your life. And if I never gave him a chance... Like, if I listened to my friends and I stayed away from him because he was so scary psychopath, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be pregnant with our 3rd child, you know what I mean, together. There's 5 kids all together. third one that we're having together. We have beautiful children, beautiful life. My husband worked so hard for us. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't have asked for a better husband. He's my best friend. He's just amazing. I just wanted to show you guys some pictures really quick of me and my husband and our kids, because I just thought it'd be really sweet to insert this, you know, just to go along with our love story. He really is like the most amazing husband and dad I could ever have asked for, and I cannot believe that we met on Twitter and we literally had like a love story happily ever after. It is possible. It really is. Like, we are proof that it could work. And I'm glad that we decided to get together and we didn't listen to all the people on the internet telling us we can't be together. It was kind of like some crazy vegan trolling Romeo and Juliet story, except we didn't end up dead. So, this is already getting long. Oh, I also wanted to say really quick, there were some people who were extremely supportive the whole time, and they are still around to this day. Shout out to Miss Kier, shout out to Jana, Olga jumped on board. So, not everybody was against us. I should have mentioned that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you guys want more videos like this. I have tons of stories. I have a story I could tell you guys about how I evaded the police, ran from the cops, and got away with it. Yeah. And I'm not like pulling Tana Mojos here. Like, I have actual real crazy stories I could tell you. Let me know what you guys think of this video. I still have people on my channel to this day that were there when me and him got together and met and like had this awesome love story. So this is how I fell in love with a troll online and ended up married to him with kids. And I couldn't be happier. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.